There might be a person or two in the audience that doesn't know me. So my name is Heather Butler and I'm Secretary of Mirboo Country Development. And it's been my privilege over the last few years to MC these events for Australia Day. Before we start, could I please ask that people turn their mobile phones either to vibrate or to silent? Today's proceedings will be being recorded and you probably don't want to be the person that has their phone ringing in the middle of something. For those of you who might need them, toilets are here and here. So, let us start. Welcome everyone on behalf of Mirboo Country Development and welcome to our esteemed guests. Russell Broadbent, Federal Member for Monash, Councillors Williams, Schelling, Darrakai, Mrs Karen Ellis, CEO of South Gippsland Shire Council, and Mr David Ellis. I'd also like to acknowledge the apologies that we've received from Danny O'Brien, Melina Barth, South Gippsland Shire Councillor Mayor Hershey, Wayne Roberts, Thomason Bales, Kelly McCarthy, Kylie Canizo, Nikki Carwood and Alexia Andrews. Today in Mirboo North, like many days here, there's much on offer. Today there is this Australia Day ceremony, followed by morning tea. Boromey Park has the free, clean, squeaky, ready-to-operate barbecues, thanks to the Shire, for anyone who wishes to place some lamb on the barbie, with the great playground close by for the young and the young at heart. The Grand Ridge Rail Trail's just next door, and Lyre Bird Walk and Baths Road Reserve are looking great if you fancy a short bushwalk or run in the mist. Plus there's swimming and activities at the pool today. Now that the free advertisement for the town is over, I'd like to invite Karen Ellis to the stage to do the Acknowledgement of Country.
Thanks so much, Heather, and thank you for the invitation and the opportunity to be here this morning. It's lovely to be here. And I'm delighted to kick off this morning's event by acknowledging the Bunurong and Gunai-Kurnai people as the traditional custodians of South Gippsland and pay respects to their elders past, present and future, for they hold the memories, traditions, culture and hopes of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people of Australia. Thanks Heather.
Karen. Now I'd like to call on Mirboo North Scouts, who do a fantastic job in the town. Scouts, would colour party like to fall in? Colour party halt. Those who might wish to stand and salute the flag. Colour party salute. Colour party break off. Anybody in the audience joined us? Thank you. Thank you, Scouts. The one other thing, if you'd like to remain standing, those who wish to, and I'll fire up the technology because I sing atrociously. some really nice pictures. Thank you, everyone. As per usual, it works when you test it and it doesn't when you want to do it. Australia Day is, to many, a day of community celebration. And before we say the Australia Day affirmation, let's take a moment to reflect on what Australia Day means to each of us as individuals and to the community we live in. For many of us here, we wear volunteer hats, often multiple hats, and this is what we identify as being part of the community. To quote from the great book by Andrew Lee and Nick Terrell, Reconnected, volunteering bridges groups of people that might never have connected otherwise. The ideas that flow will help communities create, extend and strengthen networks. Many of the community groups in Mirboo North deliver a dual benefit, as do many people. Lee and Terrell call this doing double plus good. I'm not sure what you call it when volunteers do more than double plus good. But we're here today to celebrate the achievements of many who do much more than double plus good. Those who wish to, stand and undertake the affirmation. The affirmation is based on the Australian Citizenship Pledge made by new citizens and is a statement of commitment to the values that all Australians share. Making the affirmation is voluntary. If you wish to do so, you can join me in saying the pledge. As an Australian citizen, I affirm my loyalty to Australia and its people, whose democratic beliefs I share, whose rights and liberties I respect, and whose laws I uphold and obey. Thank you. Thanks all. Be seated. Now we get to the good bit. The bit where we announce who have been our outstanding people over the last year. And we'd like to start with our youngest first. This year, we did have a nomination for Young Person of the Year, and that's Alex Banks. I'd like to invite Alex and Paul to the stage. Is Paul here? No. Dale. You coming? No, Paul was going to read it for you. Not here? Okay, no worries. I can do that. As soon as I retrieve it. Okay. Alex is a caring and compassionate young boy who is always keen to contribute to his school community. Since beginning school, Alex has flourished, taking the opportunities presented to him to learn and develop. He interacts confidently with people of all ages and treats everyone with the same respectful, polite and tolerant manner. Alex shows huge amounts of initiative helping other students with their learning, as well as conducting household jobs in the classroom. His calm nature makes him perfect for explaining instructions to those who may be experiencing difficulty with getting work done. You may think that a student like this may forget about his own learning, but that is not the case with Alex. He gives himself the maximum opportunity to reach his potential and then some, He takes pride in the work he produces and always aims for a high standard. He is passionate about his learning and development, which will keep him in good stead as he progresses through school. Alex wants to make a difference. He's constantly looking at our society and how he could make it better. He wants to change our world for the better. A prime example of this is when he grew his hair for 2 years with the intention of having it cut off to make wigs for cancer patients. Alex had a goal of raising $200 for cancer research. But being the determined and driven child he is, he raised a mind-blowing $2,779. Alex goes a step further than just raising money. He organises the permissions and advertising he needs, as well as seeking support all on his own. He raises awareness of issues that are of concern to his peers and the broader community, offering his time and effort willingly. A student like this is a dream to teach and a terrific example of how our young people are looking to find a way to make positive changes to our society. Thank you. Well done, Alex. I'd now like to invite Russell Broadbent to say a few words and then present Alex's certificate.
Thank you, Heather. I recognise the councillors and chief executive officers that are here, my many friends in the room from a long time now, and especially to those scouts that joined us this morning. Thank you for coming along. You did a marvellous job in unfurling that flag, and it's a real flag. It's actually sewn. I haven't seen a real flag for a long time. It's a beautiful, beautiful flag. It must be probably 30 years old, that flag, I think. It would be, I think. So, to you, Alex. Alex, I just heard the Prime Minister say on the radio that he's in Canberra doing the ceremony there, that there are 190,000 people made their commitment to Australia today across the country, which I think that's remarkable. But more remarkable than that, Alex, is the fact that you may be unique. Now, you know exactly what it's like to be unique. Everyone in this room is unique, but on occasions like this, you can become even more unique you could perhaps be the youngest recipient of an award for all the awards that have gone across. Even Archie Roach, posthumously after he died, has received a posthumous award of a Companion of the Order of Australia, which is the highest possible accolade you can possibly get. And I loved it when he sang songs and campaigned for his people. So you have, in a way, sung your song. Your song is a special song. Your song is a contributor's song. And that song that is you will go on for the whole of your life, not just this time of achievement you've achieved so far. So Alex, to you, my hearty congratulations from everybody in this room. Congratulations on receiving this award. I don't know whether you're the youngest recipient, but I reckon Mirboo North would be the only town in the whole of Australia who would have a 10-year-old recipient of the Young Australian at this time. So come to me, and I should mention congratulations to your family, because without them you wouldn't be here. So this says Australia Day, Mirboo North Young Person of the Year, Alex Banks. Congratulations, Alex. Anyone say a few words? If you're allowed to talk. What do you think? Yeah, have a go. All right? Come on up here. Closer. Go. All right, you don't have to. Just shake my hand then and take this lovely award. Congratulations, Alex.
Thank you. Thank you, Russell. Alex, there's a little envelope on the back of your award. Don't lose it. There's something in there for you specially.
Chocolates.
No, not chocolates. But I don't care what he does with it. Okay. Our next award, unfortunately, Melina Bath, member for East Gippsland, can't be with us today. She is not well. And late last night, I received the words that she would like me to read out. This is for the award for the Event of the Year. The Event of the Year this year was the Winterfest event. And it's easy to think that the first Mirboo Nth Winterfest was held in 2022. And in fact, it was. However, this is a revitalised version of Mardi Gras that was celebrated in Mirboo North for many years. Over 4,000 people flocked to the streets of Mirboo North on an icy winter's night to experience a vibrant celebration of community, the arts, and joining together after a couple of years locked down due to the pandemic. With moving the event to the middle of the year, the organisers wanted to celebrate the warmth and light that we all forged to help us through the dark and cold of winter. With fire and ice, light and art, and food and drink aplenty, Winterfest seemingly managed to hit the mark. The beating heart of Mardi Gras was retained, with the street parade being braved by many families. To team with the theme of winter, and in the lead up to Winterfest, locals were invited to make their own lantern to display during the parade. A sea of lights created by locals was a sight to behold. Activities during the event included a market, live ice sculpting, drum and dance workshops, fire twirlers, live music, plenty to eat and plenty to see. While it might have seemed easy to pull this event together and to make it happen, the reality was vastly different. It might have seemed like a great idea at the time, and it was a great idea, but the delays in grant announcements due to the placement at the start of the financial year left the team biting their nails and having to wait until the last minute to confirm bookings and do publicity. But we all agree it was worth it, and now we know what to expect when doing things in winter. It should be noted that all money raised through grants, sponsorship and fundraising activities that were used to run this event, where possible the expenditure was spent in South Gippsland, on local artists, local performers, with local businesses, local equipment hire and local promotion. Due to the success of the event, the organisers hope to continue this annually and continue shining light in the depths of South Gippsland's moody winter. I'd like to ask Ruth Rogan to come and accept the award. So pretend I'm Melina, saying, thanks Ruth.
Thank you. How exciting. Thank you, Heather. I'm one of a larger working group that was involved in the creation of Winterfest this year, or last year in 2022, and we're so thrilled to have won the Community Event of the Year. These awards are a wonderful celebration of community life, as has been mentioned by a number of speakers, and we're thrilled to have this recognition. And we do hope that one day we'll celebrate on a day that's less problematic for our First Nations people, but thrilled to be here, thrilled to celebrate this community and the things that it does. Winterfest itself is an event that really is part of a long tradition here in Mirboo North. We've celebrated the arts with an annual event every year for more than 40 years. And it's principally, as Heather has just outlined, the Mardi Gras that was the precursor to the Winterfest. And it was great to, I suppose, to take this next step on the journey, but we really wanted to pay tribute to all of those people over all of those decades who have been running these events, bringing people together, but also giving people access to the arts and to community in a special way, and lighting up the winter, as you said. We wanted to thank a few people. MCDI, or Mirboo Country Development, is our community development organisation, and is so important as a backbone organisation because it provides structural support and governance support to lots of different events and organisations that just want to get on with creating events and having fun and doing things in the community. And MCDI provides the insurances and the governance that, really not everybody wants to do. So we really appreciate that support, and I know many other organisations do too. And then we also wanted to thank our sponsors and our funders. Without a huge range of them, but particularly Visit Victoria, South Gippsland Shire, the Community Foundation and the Community Bank here in Mirboo North, as well as Delburn Wind Farm, we wouldn't have been able to bring this event together. So we really appreciate that support. And finally, a shout out to our broader group who are not here today, but we can see them hopefully on the live streaming. And this fabulous group of hardworking, creative people who put this event together in 2022. And we're really looking forward to bringing Winterfest back in 2023. Thank you.
Now, I'd like to call on our Citizen of the Year, Janine Alexander, and I'd like Joe Piper to say a few words about how terrific Janine is.
Janine, I reckon you should sit down. This could take long. One of the joys of being part of Mirboo North community is I'm often told to stop waffling, and Heather gave me a 10-minute time frame this morning. I only expected 5, but what the hell. And I'll start by saying what an honour it is to be able to read a citation, not the one in your program. That's the abridged version. I've got the full one. Okay? And I'll start by saying last evening, I think Russell, who I will acknowledge along with our Shire councillors and CEO, spoke about last evening's awards, the Australian Day Awards in Canberra. And as a normal citizen of our great country, I really didn't know a lot about them. But I learnt. And that was the whole purpose of the event and the way they were introduced. And I felt somewhat probably feeling that I was lacking some effort in not knowing about, but quite frankly, a lot of their work's done behind the scenes. Okay? And I took particular note of the local hero, because you're not supposed to know them, because they're local heroes, okay? And that sort of fits Mirboo North, and that fits the nomination, the awarded Citizen of the Year, Janine Alexander, this year. I'm going to tell you a little story that you won't know. Over 20 years, Janine's involvement in the Mirboo North community has been focused on successful operations of where you are today at the Walter J. Tuck Reserve, the Mirboo North Football Netball Club, as well as recently the building of the Mirboo North Medical Centre. There are others, but I'll get to them. As Treasurer of the Walter J. Tuck Reserve, Janine has willingly undertaken the large and necessary task of managing the budgeting and financial reporting to the South Gippsland Shire, including all compliance reporting, maintenance schedules and works undertaken, including acquittals, and volunteer training is also a big part of her job. All public reserves require people to look beyond the now and consider the needs of the future. Janine was a vital part of the development and finalisation of our carefully considered master plan, and has been part of the building works and development of this site to what it is today, and that's been over 20 years involvement. You'll note that the past and the future is here today. There's a plaque under the television which you can have a look at having a cup of tea. It's about a 2004 or 2003 plaque where we opened the rooms that you're in today. Janine was the treasurer of that project, and has remained before and has remained for every project that's underway. And you'll notice the groundworks that are underway for the new lights project, supported so diligently by our council and the state and federal governments. And that's underway now, and it should be all go for the first game. Now, at the same time, Janine has been a business manager for the Mirboo Nth Football Netball Club for 8 years. Whilst managing the financial arrangements of our club in an ever-increasing compliance-focused world that we live in, her responsibilities also included everything from payer payments to sponsorship to canteen to bar, and numerous hours were spent alongside the late Bernice Snell, ensuring that the canteen had enough, but not too much, volunteers are welcomed, and that all was in order for local and visitors to come to our town, and our job was to feed and quench their thirst. Janine's work in the past year or so has ensured that both the Recreation Reserve and the Football Netball Club have survived COVID. And not the disease, not the influenza, but the change of mind and volunteerism in our community. And not only have these organisations thrived through hard work, innovation has become part of the mantra of both organisations, and new ways of connecting with members both locally, interstate and internationally has been done through live streaming and other projects that we've had. That gives us an opportunity, and Janine, with her work on sponsorship, we were able to promote businesses in our community to people outside our community, as well as tourism opportunities. Within the last few years, Janine has added to her volunteering by professional experience in her real work, paid job with Latrobe Shire on the major projects. She's brought that experience to our local project control group that managed the construction of the Mirboo North Medical Centre, which was funded by the Mirboo North and District Community Foundation. It's a great asset to our community, and well done to the foundation. It is to Janine and that team's credit that the project actually came in on time and under budget during a period where building industry was struggling with COVID, building material supply, and the lack of skilled tradespeople available. In past years, Janine's volunteerism has also gone left field to assist the Mirboo North Debutante Ball and to ensure that young adults are well trained and, where necessary, were chaperoned during rehearsals. But we're not going there, it's just an interesting age group. As you're aware, our Mirboo North community plan that we're very proud of took many months and many consultations to bring to fruition, and Janine was there all the way, adding her experience during the entire process. Along her journey, Janine's parental and community voluntary activities have included kindergarten and school committees, junior sporting club committees, and always at the forefront were that things needed to be done or fought for, Janine was standing with that committee. Janine has also been a supporter of the Childcare Centre and quietly assisted during its time of transition. Excuse me. As a mother, Janine also managed to spend a lot of time ferrying Clinton and Todd to elite sporting competitions and extracurricular activities whilst continuing her studies. Currently at a master's degree, one day we hope a doctorate, and at the same time fitting all her community activities in. For those of us that have been on local club and events committees with Janine, there's a saying, and it goes like this: no matter what we're thinking, will it pass the Janine test? That definition is pretty simple. She has 3 rules. Is it logical? Is it in the best interest of the club or community? And can we afford it? And the amount of times that I've had that lectured to me at committee meetings, the last 20 years, I should get a tattoo. But it is So true. Janine is a person who firmly believes in equipping others to succeed by learning the art of compromise and consideration of all options in any decision-making process. Countless people have experienced Janine quiet and patient mentoring. Qualities that consistently arise when members of our community speak about Janine include, but are not limited to, but include non-judgmental, emphatic, she's distance visioned, a fighter for other options, an enabler of others, an encourager of teamwork, and a believer that good governance delivers successful outcomes. To finish, a quotation from the Batman movie, it's not who you are underneath, it's what you do that defines you. And in our community, we know that Janine gets the job done. And the introductory line on your citation says, tiny but mighty. I would say to you, tiny but taller than most. Thank you. Are you right to walk? We can, because Claire has a busted up foot, I think we're just going to move over to you. Can you? Sure. All right. I'll get out of your way. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
great award. Tiny but mighty, and I think extraordinary. It fits well after Joe's speech about your life and what you've been doing.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, everyone. So I'll just keep this very short. Thank you, South Gippsland Shire Council, for this award. I'm humbled, and thank you very much. And thank you to MCDI for nominating me for the award. When Heather came first to me about it, I laughed at her. So, but yeah, I relented in the end. Firstly, I'd really like to thank my two boys, Clinton and Todd. Without their love and support, and hopefully Todd's watching this in Adelaide, I couldn't have achieved what I've done. They were always there for me, not quite understanding sometimes why I took on quite so much, but I knew they were always there if I needed some help and support, and I couldn't have achieved this without them. I'd also like to thank, and it's with a tinge of sadness, that my mum can't be here to see this. She was a big support when I was working full-time and studying and running around doing all this volunteer stuff that she never quite understood why I needed to do quite so much. But she was all there as the backstop, and I'd like to think that both she and Dad would be very proud of what I've achieved. They loved Mirboo North, were very proud Mirboo North residents, and so yeah, I really couldn't have done it without them. This journey for me started about over 30 years ago now, when Clinton went to kindergarten and I stuck my hand up for the kindergarten committee. So over 2 stints on the kinder committee, primary school council, business manager of the football club, junior cats, or it was junior cats then, junior tigers now, and a smattering of all the other committees and everything. Across it all, there's been the Rec Reserve Committee, and I'm very proud of what we've achieved. So I'm stepping back. I'm going to make a little bit of time for myself now, and as I do this, I'd like to thank, there's a number of people I'd like to thank for their support and guidance along the way, and as much as I've tried to support and guide others, I've received a lot of that in return, and I'm very grateful for that. Wayne Roberts, President of the the Rec Reserve Committee, and all of the other people who've been on the Rec Reserve Committee as members of the community or representatives of the user groups. There's been a lot of them over 24 years. We've achieved a lot, and I really particularly want to acknowledge Bernice Snell. Bernice was provided a lot of support to me and guidance, and we worked together on a number of projects, particularly for this building, and she was great, and I miss her dreadfully. I'd also like to thank the Football Club Committee, the current committee, Joe Piper, Andy Taylor, Jess Holland and Stacey Harridge, and Susan Mitchell as well, and past members Paul Pratt, Stephen Rogers, and in particular Angie Rogers, who was a great support when I took this on, not quite knowing what I was getting myself into, and I'm not quite sure I planned on 8 years, but that's just the way it goes. I've learned a lot over the last God knows how many years, but what I've really enjoyed is the camaraderie that I've received from all of the people that have been involved with all of the committees I've been on. I'd like to think that I've made a little bit of a difference to our community. It gives me an immense sense of satisfaction as I look at this building and look at it, the Rec Reserve and other things that have done, that have hopefully made a contribution that will last for quite a while. Thank you.
Thanks, Janine, and congratulations. And you should be proud of everything you've achieved here. Doesn't matter what day of the week you come to this Rec Reserve or what time of the day, there's something going on somewhere. It's not just sporting people who use this recreation reserve. It's used a lot by general members of the community, whether it's to kick a ball round, walk a dog, walk round and get their steps up, doesn't matter. People are using it all the time. So thanks, Janine, to you and the wider team here at the Rec for ensuring that we always have a great facility, and that even when the unexpected happens, as this week, for those who don't know, we had a break-in here this week as well, but things are looking great for now, so thank you. Before we close today's proceedings, I'd just like to do another couple of thank yous. I'd like to thank all the volunteers within our community for all the work that they put in to all sorts of things. Without them, as a town, we would be lost. Particularly today, I'd like to thank Rachel and the Mirboo North Cricket Club for both doing the catering and also for making this room available. I'd like to thank my fellow members of Mirboo Country Development for agreeing to host this and the many other events that we host in the town, and to thank you all for attending. There's one other person I need to thank, but he's told me I'm not allowed to. So the guy behind the camera I haven't thanked. Everybody, if you'd like to join us for morning tea and a bit of networking, please do so. Morning tea is there. The bar is also open for those who'd like something a little stronger than tea and coffee. Thank you.